Hey, what up, you guys? Danny B. You're watching the Trash Dash. In this video, I'm going to be re-ranking the Halloween franchise. So about every year, I do a ranking of these movies. I love these movies, but every year, my ranking kind of changes. So if you watch the one from next year, it's probably going to be a whole different list than the one I got right now. But here's what I ranked them as right now. So I rewatched about like half of these. I didn't rewatch all of them, but I got them all pretty much memorized. So this is my ranking for right now. All right, coming up at number 13 is going to be Halloween 2018. I don't want to say I dislike this movie, but this is definitely my least favorite. I liked it when I first saw it, and then after rewatches on it, I just kind of like, it doesn't hold up so good. Like a lot of the cringy parts really cringe me out, like especially the opening scene where it's like the hospital and like all the patients are going crazy. Like the guy holding the mask, like, say something! And then all the other patients are going crazy. And one of them is the one that dies in the next movie. And then this also has a couple kill scenes in it that they ripped off a Terrifier, like the jack-o'-lantern head and the head smash. Yeah, it's okay, but it's definitely my least favorite. Halloween 2018 at number 13. All right, coming up at number 12 is going to be Halloween Kills, and this one moved way down from last year. I do like this one a lot more than Halloween 2018. It's definitely a lot of fun to watch Michael Myers, you know, like slaughter people in this one. But just the other stuff in the movie, like the mob with the Evil Dies Tonight and all that shit. Yeah, it just doesn't hold up so good on like rewatches. Overall, I do like this movie. It was way down on the list from last year. Right, coming up at number 11 is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween, the theatrical cut. And for this ranking, I'm just going to do my favorite cut of the movie. There's a couple different cuts of like the Rob Zombie's Halloween, and then Halloween 6 has 2 cuts. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not that into like the first half of the movie where it's Michael Myers as a kid, and like a lot of the dialogue, you know, it's the same complaints everyone has, like the white trashy dialogue. I do like the atmosphere of this movie, like the set designs and stuff. I think that's all really well done. Even the acting is pretty good. I like all the like little cheesy Halloween decorations they got around their house and stuff. Once it gets to like the remake part, like where it's an actual remake of the original, I think it's really good. But everything else before that, I'm not that much into. Like, it's even like when he's like stealing the jumpsuit from the guy. It's an okay movie. All right, coming up at number 10 is going to be Halloween Part 4. I've never been like the hugest fan of Part 4. I mean, it's got some cool stuff in it, like Michael Myers and the bandages, I think is cool. When he's chasing Danielle Harris around the house is pretty cool. And like, my favorite part in this is actually when he like finally Michael Myers gets a gun, and then what does he do? He stabs somebody with it. Michael Myers looks kind of goofy in this. They got him like with the really bad looking mask and the shoulder pads and stuff. It's still pretty scary when they put him in the shadows and stuff. It's pretty badass like when the mob finally gets him and then they're just like shooting at him with the shot. It's like all slow motion and stuff. And Dr. Loomis is really good in this one. Coming up at number 9 is going to be Halloween Part 5. And Halloween 4 and 5 are kind of interchangeable for me. Like, I like them about the same. I give 5 the edge because I like the like look of the movie a little better, and I even like the Michael Myers mask in this better. And then you got the Man in Black storyline. I know they didn't know what they were doing, but I still like it. And then you got the whole scene at the end where Michael Myers goes to jail and the Man in Black breaks him out. Yeah, I think I've always kind of liked Part 5 a little bit more than Part 4, but they're pretty much like neck and neck. They're about the same for me. All right, coming up at number 8 is going to be Halloween 3. This was a lot lower on my list last year, but I rewatched it and I had a pretty good time watching it this time. Very weird movie. I think they're, like I said before, I think they're trying to do kind of like a David Cronenberg type of thing. But I really like the atmosphere. I don't know who did the cinematography. Was it Dean Cundy? Did he do this one again? But yeah, a lot of fun stuff in this movie. I think my favorite part is when the lady's like messing with the microchip in the mask. And it shoots her face off. And I love the soundtrack. I've always loved the soundtrack for this one. All right, coming up at number 7 is going to be Halloween H2O. This was always way higher on my list, but I just rewatched it and I didn't like it as much as I did in all these other years. It's still pretty good, but it's not really that scary. I do like Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie. This is probably my favorite version of her character. And then one character that I wish they did a lot more with is the smoking nurse, Marion Chambers. She's always been one of my favorite Halloween characters, and I kind of wish that she had like a bigger story in at least one of the movies. She probably gets the most screen time in Part 2, but even then is like still kind of a side character. I always liked her character. So it's kind of a shame she died like right at the beginning, because that's probably my favorite part of the movie, is that whole opening scene with her and then the two kids like inspecting her house and stuff. Watching it this time, I just didn't think Michael Myers was that intimidating. He just looked kind of like a cornball. But I do still like this movie a lot. It's just lower on my list than last year. It might even go back up next year, who knows. Coming up at number 6 is going to be Halloween Resurrection. And I know people absolutely hate this one. I never hated this movie. I've always had kind of a fun time watching it, but this time I really liked it. Like this time I had more fun watching this one than H2O. And I think the Michael Myers was a big improvement from H2O in this one. I love the way they did the old creepy house. And even the characters, I was having a fun time watching. I know a lot of people complain about the scene where Busta Rhymes is yelling at Michael Myers, but I've always took that scene as that Michael Myers was genuinely confused because he's dressed up as Michael Myers. So he's like thinking like, am I having an out of body experience? Like, is this myself talking to me right now? That's what I always took it as. I never took it as like, oh, this guy yelled at me, I better go walk away. The ending is pretty bad with, you know, like Busta Rhymes acting like a tough guy. But, you know, in all fairness, they originally, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard they did that whole ending with Deckard breaking through the door and fighting Michael Myers, and everyone hated it, so they reshot it with Busta Rhymes. And I think there's even a scene, if you pause it at the right moment, you could see Deckard busting through the door, and then they cut real quick, and then there's Busta Rhymes standing there. But it's not even really that bad. He kind of kicks him, and then he flies back a little bit, and then he gets electrocuted. So it's not like he got this shit kicked out of him. He like fucking fell into wires and then burned up in the flames is what happened. But one thing I've always loved about this movie is that this is the only one where he actually killed Laurie. Like, there's none of the other Halloweens have that. Definitely a cheesy one. I had a great time watching it this time. So number 6, Halloween Resurrection. All right, coming up at number 5 is going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween Part 2, the theatrical cut. And this is one that moved up way on the list. This was all the way at like number 12 or 11 last year. Had a really good time watching this one. This one kind of jumps right into the action, which I like. And then it's definitely kind of like a different take on Michael Myers. He's walking around homeless, and I you know, it takes place over a bunch of time, so like a lot of the kill scenes are not happening on Halloween. He's just kind of wandering around aimlessly after, I don't know if he's supposed to be dead or not. Yeah, just had a really good time watching this one, and I appreciated the way it was like filmed and all that stuff this time. So number 5, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. All right, coming up at number 4 is going to be Halloween Ends. And I liked this one as soon as I first saw it. And then I was thinking this time when I watched it, it's going to move down on the list. But no, it's still right up there. It held up pretty good after about a year or two. This is kind of like the most like true crime feeling Halloween movie. Like, it's almost like a Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer kind of thing, but with, you know, Corey. Michael Myers is very kind of like spider-like in this movie, with like luring people back to his sewer. I don't care that Michael Myers is not really like the main focus of this movie, and then I'm actually happy that Jamie Lee Curtis is not like in the forefront of this movie, because to be honest, you know, I liked her in the first and second movie and then H2O, but her story is like a little redundant. Like, I don't care that much about her character to where I need to see her in every single Halloween movie. But I like that this one's kind of like about like morality, I guess you could say. Like, this kid, did he start out as evil, or did just everyone consider him bad, like a bad person? So then he thought like, well, fuck it, that's what I'll become, a bad person, because everyone thinks of me as a killer anyways, so I'll actually become a killer. So yeah, I thought this one was pretty good. The ending where I like the fight scene, but when they actually like strap him to the car and then they're driving him down the street with the whole town watching, that to me is a little bit much, but I could look past that. It's, you know, at the end of the day, it's a Halloween movie, so, you know, it's taking a few liberties with the reality of the situation. I think it actually probably would have been funny if they like strapped Michael Myers and then also strapped Corey on the car and drove him down the street and threw him into the grinder too. Like, what do they do with him? They just left him there? Hey, coming up at number 3 is going to be Halloween Part 6, the theatrical cut, The Curse of Michael Myers. But yeah, this movie is kind of a mess, but that doesn't matter to me. Like, a lot of movies that I like are a complete mess. Like, a lot of Bruno Mattei movies don't make any sense at all, but they're still an entertaining watch and stuff. This is probably my favorite version of Michael Myers. I like the way he is in this movie. Like, I like the mask. I like the brutality. He's like really mean in this one. Like, he pushed, especially when he pushes Jamie onto the farm equipment. A lot of like really mean-spirited kills. The whole head explosion scene and stuff. And the whole way this movie is lit and everything is awesome. This one, I believe, was filmed in Utah, and I think there's only like a few. I think this one, 4 and 5 were filmed like in Utah or something. It's supposed to be Illinois, so like, you know, the new ones, the David Gordon Green movies, they don't look like Illinois. You could tell it's the South. You could tell it's like South Carolina or wherever, North Carolina. Even like, you know, Southern Illinois, which is a little bit more country, doesn't look like fucking, you know, like the South really. But yeah, this one has the most like Midwestern feeling to me, even though it doesn't completely look like Illinois to me, but it's still pretty close. And I love Paul Rudd in this movie, and Dr. Loomis is pretty good in it. Yeah, I've always loved this one. So, number 3, Halloween Part 6. Alright, coming up at number 2 is going to be Halloween, the original. And this one did move down a spot from last year. Last year I said this was my favorite, and the year before that I said Halloween 2 was my favorite. So this one's back at number 2 for me. And this one, don't get me wrong, is an absolute classic. It's probably a tie with my number 1 pick, which is, you know, going to be Part 2. To me, it's almost kind of like the same thing as like Alien and Aliens. Like, Alien is a much slower, more atmospheric, spooky kind of movie. And then Aliens is where like all the action happens. So it's like, you know, which one of those is the better movie? They're, you know, it's apples and oranges almost. But yeah, absolute masterpiece. John Carpenter's direction in this is awesome. Especially the whole opening scene where it's the point of view through the mask and stuff. Very creepy, kind of like escape scene at the hospital. And then all the lore comes from this movie with, you know, Dr. Loomis talking about like how he's an evil, like he had the devil's eyes and stuff. But yeah, Part 1 and Part 2 are almost interchangeable for me. So this year I'm picking number 1 as my second favorite. Alright, and then coming up at number 1 is going to be Halloween 2. I absolutely love this one. I think this one has a lot more action in it, and that's why I'm picking it as my number 1. A lot more kills, a lot more like Dick Warlock as Michael Myers. He's almost like the Terminator. I even think the movie Terminator ripped some of this movie off. He's almost like unstoppable. Even though he's walking a lot slower, he's a lot more menacing. Like the whole scene with Laurie getting in the elevator and he's walking slow with the scalpel. He's very, very menacing. The mask is all like kind of like weathered and stuff. It looks a lot creepier to me. There's a few shots where it looks kind of goofy because he's like stretched wider and stuff. But a lot of the movie, it doesn't look that. It looks pretty much the same as it did in the first one, like in a lot of the shots. I think Dick Warlock is my second favorite Michael Myers. I love the hospital setting and just the fact that it's kind of like set at like, what, it's supposed to be like 3 a.m. at the hospital. Very creepy. The synth soundtrack, to me, it reminds me a lot more of Halloween Night than like the first one. There's just so many cool scenes in this. Him walking through the glass, like walking right through it. Him walking out of the flames on fire, to me, is my favorite ending in the whole franchise. And it actually kind of feels realistic that they're unable to escape, like Laurie's unable to escape because she's all doped up and stuff from the hospital medicine. And all the cars, you know, have the tires slashed and stuff. And then also one of my favorite characters, the smoking nurse, gets her most screen time in this one, so that's pretty cool. And then Loomis is awesome in this movie too. So yeah, my number 1 is going to be Halloween Part 2. Alright guys, that's going to do it. This is Danny B. You're watching The Trash Dash. That's my new Halloween ranking for this year, for 2025. Let me know what you think of that. Let me know your ranking. Let me know your favorite movies out of the Halloween franchise. And let me know your favorite version of Michael Myers too. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.